Alright, let's do episode 4. The goal is basically to be able to parse this, but to make it a bit easier, we're first gonna do it in its desugared form, which is more like this. Okay, let's see. Where do we start with that? Maybe here to add more branches here. So let's add a branch for list. It should be quite simple actually. Because we can just reuse this, I think. And then let's do call. Probably gonna have to at some point figure out how to avoid having to clone those. Because that's just some unnecessary copying of data. Okay. There's of course one thing left because this thing of course has to be dereferenced or looked up in the environment, because in a string I can't have like embed a literal function, so I have to put this in some dictionary or in some hash map of built-in functions and look it up from there. So we're gonna need another instruction. Something like this. And then we can parse that. Let's see. All right. Testing purpose, you're gonna also have to call this less than LT, because as of now we can't actually pass symbols which contain non-alphanumeric characters. So let's see. Okay, gonna have to add some lifetimes, or are we gonna make this a string? We own it. Let's try it with the lifetime first. Maybe it's not too annoying. And then of course, yeah, we're gonna have to implement it here. But for now, that's also a to-do. Because of that, we also need to like pass in the environment into this eval function. So that's a bigger change. And now everything wants to have a lifetime, which is annoying. So I'm just make my life easier. And say we're just gonna pass in a string. That should work. It almost works, but not why doesn't it work? So I'm not sure if that's the issue, but I just remembered that we do need to have this as one of the possibilities. And it was the error. Right, it no works. Almost. There's a small bug here. Nice. But now we actually want to, of course, eval it also. So let's unwrap it. Get the second parameter. Now I should be able to eval it. But of course it's not implemented. So we can comment this out so we can just focus on what we're working on right now. And implement deref. So we're gonna need an environment which has I think we do a borrowed hash map from string to value. We're gonna have to pass in that as a borrowed value. And of course, whenever we evaluate something, we need to pass in the environment. I think, let's see. Yeah, I think it should be possible to create a hash map this way. Wait, what isn't it? Yeah, that should work. And of course, we need to say that we're going to use hash maps. this might actually work. However, the problem that I have to make this a string. Actually, right, this works. Then we don't need to fix this. Can I pass it in directly? Yes, I can. Didn't just work. Let's see if I do this far. We should. Yes, just worked. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, we got some time left. So maybe we're gonna implement this. For this, we need to make this a bit more complicated. Let's do +2. We're gonna add more rounds here too, but for now I do it quite simple. Right, yeah. And we need to import it, and one of is in here. And my arc nemesis, I have to pass the input. And of course, now we actually need to change our environment. And you can add some more functions in here. And now this should work. All right. think we still got quite some time. So I guess can add some sugar to this thing. Yeah. That happens when you copy without thinking things through. It doesn't work for some reason. But I'm not sure why. Let's do some of course. Yay, it works. Then we can do the final sugar. Let's do it first here, in this way. We can't forget it. quite similar to this one, so I'm just gonna copy it out of laziness. Do I need to box it? I think I need to box it here. Let's see. Of course, this one is not a string. And actually, this one also has to be boxed. And this has to be given the correct name. Yes. All this blind copy pasting. Nice. Let's test it again, another variant. Nice. Okay, so this is working now. I think there are like some brittleness in the parser, because I think, for example, one would expect this to do nothing, but it will probably. Yes, it breaks. But I think for now I will leave it as like this, and I actually only fix it as soon as I actually run into this issue, because yeah, the general idea is to be a bit lazy in the development and just try to implement cool things and then make them like robust later, and then after that performant. Alright, I guess I'm gonna end this episode here. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do next episode, so I guess that's gonna be a surprise for me too. See you then.